It's there. I would have lost every bet in the world if people would have said, "Hey, when you got in the chase, that we were going to win a race or we were going to win 5 races and win this thing." I would have bet against us. And I learned a big lesson with our organization and how strong a program we have and people-wise. I mean, it's everybody has good cars and good equipment, but I'm sure Darian's mentioned it. It's the people you have that make the difference. And we when I said at Chicago that we didn't belong in this chase and we're taking a space that somebody else that probably was going to do a better job could have done. There were two things that could have happened with our group of guys, and they could have hung their head and said our guy doesn't believe in us, or they could do exactly what they did, and that's never gave up. They dug their heels in, and they fought like the Bad News Bears, man. I mean, we were the team that nobody really thought had a shot at the beginning, and the longer this went, we battled adversity at Dover and Texas, and we just kept fighting. This whole group up here. I mean, Darian's done an unbelievable job in this chase. I mean, to go and be in the situations we've been in, and tonight, for example, I mean, to go in and have to fix a damaged race car twice, go to the back and come back to the front, and then to make the call that he made at the end there that I need to take a nap right now. My nerves are absolutely shot because when he said save fuel but run his pace, and I'm like, I'm running hard to run his pace, and so he pits about 2 laps later, and I'm like, I can't, we're having a discussion. I can't run that pace and save fuel, and it's like, so you got to tell me which one's more important right now, and I'm deaf in one ear and can't hear on the other. So he said something, and I'm like, all right, whatever, I just got to go. So then he pits, and then I go into fuel conservation mode, and it's really, really hard to watch guys just come barreling past you, and to stay disciplined enough to just stick to the plan. And I didn't question what the plan was or why the plan was. I just stuck to what he told me. And the lap that he called us in going into turn 1, and when I came off turn 2, I let the fuel pressure drop, the motor laid down a little bit but was still running, and when I got to turn 3, I shut it off, coasted around to turn 4, kicked the switch, kicked the clutch, drove down pit road. We did the stop, and he's like, keep it revving, keep it running, and I'm sitting here staring at a fuel pressure gauge that's not building. It's sitting at 2 pounds, and we drop the jack, leave, we get 50 foot from the last timeline, and it dies. I mean, it's dead, it's out, and I'm like, we just lost this thing. And we roll about 100 feet, and it takes off, and the needle goes up, and life's good again. But you get on the racetrack, then the rain comes, and it's like, oh man, what just happened? What you don't even know where you're at that point. And through the pit cycle, to sit there and we're 4th at that point, and Carl has to come back in. It's like, wow, that is the call of the race, the call of the chase, and it gave me the opportunity to do what I love doing best, letting it all hang out, and put it all on the line. And on the restart, we dove her down into 3, and that was the one probably hairy moment of anything that I did all day where I felt like, oh, I may have just lost this, and got loose underneath the 18 and the 2, and then it was a 3-wide drag race down into 3, and the way this thing drove all day, it was really good side bite, and I knew I could bury it down in the corner. I just didn't know if I was going to make the front end stick like the back. And we drive back out with the lead, and it's at that point you just sit there and go, this is all you can ask for, is where we're at right now, and whatever happens out of it happens. And the funny part was listening to Darian actually get nervous at that point. It's like the hard part was done at that point. We're where we need to be, but he goes, okay, I'm not giving you lap times anymore. I'm just going to give you intervals. And you can tell by the way he's saying that, it kind of made me laugh in the car, and that actually relaxed me more than anything for those last 30 laps. And he's just reading intervals off every lap, and we're just running hard enough to, it wasn't like we were saving much, but we saved just enough that if we had a green-white checkered, I think we had saved our tires enough to do a good job at the end. But getting in lap traffic, he was able to gain a little bit, and we were able to fight through some of those guys and pull back out. So you never are more excited to see a white flag in your lap, white flag waving in your life. You at least take the white, and you know that if the caution comes out, it's over, and you only got to make it one more lap. And I'd love to know what my lap time was the last lap. I don't think we gave up much, but it was, it just was an awesome ending. And to get both of these guys beside me, their first championship, it is an unbelievable feeling. It's from the ownership side, it's more gratifying knowing that the investment that Gene's made in this sport and Darian's history in this sport, and to be a part of getting them their first championship. That on the ownership side for me is the gratifying part. It's cool to win 3 championships as a driver and be in the company that we're in, but if this wasn't an exciting race to watch, and if this wasn't one of the most exciting chases to watch from a fan standpoint, you got to go to a doctor immediately and get checked out. So I don't even know what else to say about it.
Okay, let's take some more questions here. Jenna, and then Dan, and then Dave.
Jennifer, AP, you were making 3 and 4 wide passes tonight that we all were kind of left with our mouths open. And then AJ said that I think Tony drove the best race of his life. Was this the best race of your life? And is it fair to say you've been driving this way for 4, 5, 6 weeks?
I think so. I mean, but as much as I'd love to beat my chest and say that I've been just doing something supernatural, I mean, I've had cars that have given me that confidence to do that, and to go 4 wide on the front stretch like that, and to have the confidence that when you get to turn 1 that you can make the corner still. I mean, that's a good handling race car that gives you that confidence. So it's like I said, we've been a potent combination because our cars have been good and I've been feeling good. I mean, I've had confidence in these things, and you look at the first half of our year and how many just stupid things happen luck-wise that never happen, and we've at the end of the day we would battle to a respectable finish out of it, but we were disappointed because we knew there was more there, and it's really frustrating. But in the chase here, it just seemed like finally we got through that bad luck string and everything worked like it's supposed to. No curveballs, no change-ups, just business as usual. I mean, today was the first time I thought, oh man, when he said we got to come in, it's like I didn't question it. I didn't know what was going on because I never even felt the impact. I mean, normally you feel something if you hit something with the nose of the car, and to hit it with the wire mesh like that screen, it just kills that. And how it didn't go through the radiator, I have no idea. But to have something like that actually go our way for once, it was nice to finally get that bad luck streak out of the way and get to where we could work on just doing what we do best. I feel like I passed half the state of Florida. 118 cars, a lot of cars to pass in one race. I don't care what series you're in or where you're at, but to do it under the circumstances and the pressure that we had today, I'm very, very proud of that. And I've been racing 31 years. I can't even remember some of the races I've won, but I would have to say that under the circumstances, I got to believe this is definitely one of the greatest races of my life.